I'm an addict for sneakers.
What's good? Back up in the building. It's your boy DJ Dells back with a brand new sneaker podcast here at the Sneaker Addict Show. Before I start, make sure to hit that like button right now if you love these at the end of the week podcast. Lets me know and motivates me. It's a lot of work doing these, and I don't mind doing it as long as I know people actually are enjoying it. So please, if you enjoy it, just hit that like button real quick right now. And let's get into it. Oh, matter of fact, before I even get into it, if you didn't listen to last week's podcast, please do so. Hit the pause button right now and just look in the description box below. Check out last week's. I think it's 46 minutes long. Talk about a lot of stuff that's going on in the sneaker world. And I'm answering a lot of people's questions. A lot of Q&A I've been doing for the past couple of months. People are really loving it. So check out that podcast if you haven't. And then check out the one before that if you haven't checked that one out too. A lot of great stuff. A lot of great sneaker talk. So do that. And if you're up to date, let's rock. Let's get right into it. So we're going to start off with Rodrigo.23. He wants to know about people picking up shoes at the thrift shops and whatnot. How do I feel about that? I think it's cool. I think it's dope. I like that that's going on. It really reminds me of like what the sneaker game used to be about. Not necessarily going to thrift shops, but just going and searching around literally on foot, like going to stores and seeing what's out there. That's like that vibe like back in the days. That gives me that back in the day sneakerhead vibe right there. Not like now the internet's taking over everything. You know, when everything's about to release, right when it releases. So it's a cool thing right there. There's a lot of culture behind that, and I'm digging that because that's what it's about, man. That's like real sneaker culture right there. I'm digging that. Moving on. Justin A. wants to know how I feel about sneaker collectors not knowing the history about the sneakers. Like, does that make them like a respectable collector, or does that just mean they're a hype beast? I think that, it's impressive if people know about what they're collecting. If you're going to consider yourself a collector, some people don't consider themselves collectors. Some people consider themselves people that just are buying shoes as an investment to flip. They don't really care about the actual history of the shoe. Me, myself, I am a little bit of two different things. I'm someone that just loves fashion and just wants to wear shoes. And then the other half of me is someone that loves the sport of basketball and the history behind it. So I am a combination of those two things. Everyone's got their different taste and a different flavor of what they're about and what they do. So, in my eyes, when I see someone that just collects shoes and doesn't know any history about the shoe, I just look at them as what they are. They're just people that are in it for different reasons than what I'm in this for. I'm in this because I get a lot of pleasure out of wearing a fresh new pair of kicks that looks dope, when I'm out and about. Plus, I get pleasure when I get an old pair of shoes that may have retroed, or maybe even an original pair, and it brings me back to a place in sports history where I'm like, oh man, I remember this, or brings me back to even just a memory, like, being young. And like when I see the Air Jordan 12, reminds me of my homie Vinny on the block, and he had his pair of Air Jordan 12s on, but the taxis, and I was just like, yo, man, I was like looking at his shoes, and I was mad young, and I was like, just like inspired to like step my game up, to get that money and get a pair of kicks, like that, on that level. Because back in the 90s, sneakers really, like when you wore a pair of Jordans, it was a statement. Not everyone was wearing a pair of Jordans. You were either rich or you were getting money. Your parents either were getting that money or you were getting that money. And it was inspirational, like when you'd see people wearing Jordans to like want to get that money. Just like a gold chain back in the days meant something. A gold chain don't mean nothing. Now everyone got a gold chain. Now everyone got jewelry. But back in the days, it meant something, There was a lot of culture and a lot of just like, it was a different aspect, like when you would view things. It's something that some people are in one lane with and some people are in another lane with. Everyone's in different lanes, and some of us are on the same and some aren't. And no lane is the wrong way. It's all about what you like, and getting where you fit in at the end of the day. So that just answers that question. I always say focus on yourself, forget about everyone else. There's always going to be people that aren't like you, so I'm just focusing on what I'm with. And, you know, even when I speak on this mic, like, I'm talking to people, like, I'm talking to you, the people that I feel are like me, that are into the same stuff as me. Like, I'm not even paying attention to people that aren't on, like, that lane that I'm on. You know, they're not driving in the same lane as me. They're driving on a different lane. But I know there's some people that listen to the show, which I'm cool with, that are on different lanes. And I love that you guys are listening to. Let's keep it moving with another question. Little K600 wants to know, how lame is the sneaker game now? It's just no fun. I mean, I'm having a great time with it, so I can't agree with you. Maybe you're just falling out of love with something. It happens, you know. It happens with a lot of stuff, from objects to people. You may just be falling out of love with it, man. Keep it moving with another question. Ballhard_D. How do you hear about new releases, opposed to us, the new generation, having the apps to let us know when the next sneaker drops? I always say go to my blog, thesneakeraddict.com. I say that at the end of every single episode. Go to my blog and follow my Twitter over at The Sneak Addict. I always keep you guys in tune to what's going on, what's hot that's going on, not every damn sneaker that drops. Like other blogs, they'll post every single sneaker that they could literally post. I think some of them, you know, they get paid for posting all that extra shit. Well, I only post what I like, you know. You know, go to my blog. Follow my Twitter, The Sneak Addict. All that's in the description box. Jacob R925, Kyrie Irving, 57 points. Yeah, the game was incredible. I was talking about it a little bit ago. What a game. What a game, man. Crazy. Superman _that_ho. Reebok Kamikaze 2 Pump and the ACG Air Maxes. The Reebok Kamikaze 2 Pump, I'm really digging. I ordered it already. Shout out to Derek, who hooked me up with a code to get them for under retail. People out there, I know some of you guys think like I'm just made out of money and money's coming out of my ears. It's not the case. I'm on a budget. Whenever you guys have any kind of codes, like discounts, you guys can help me out with getting shoes for under retail. It helps the show, you know. There's sometimes cases where I'm not picking up shoes to review because it's not in the budget. You know, I spend so much money on shoes every month, and there is a cutoff point now because I have a lot of responsibilities and I can't just keep buying and buying and buying and buying. So when people give me, like, you know, reward codes, like, it helps out a lot. And I just want to shout out that dude Derek, because it was really nice of him to actually hit me with that code. And he follows me to the point where he knew I wanted the shoe this morning, and I used the code and copped it for way under retail. So thank you to him. I'm really digging that shoe. I cannot wait to get it. The Kamikaze 2 is an awesome shoe, and the actual Reebok Pump Twilight Zone was like my first pair of hot sneakers I got when I was really young as a kid. It's very special to me. It's one of my favorite shoes. If you watched my special celebrating 100,000 subscribers, I actually talk about that toward the end of the video. If you haven't seen that episode and you're a diehard fan of the show, I would assume anyone that's a diehard fan of the show has seen that episode celebrating 100,000 subscribers, though. But if you haven't, for some reason, maybe you missed on it because of me flooding the channel with so much material, which is understandable, definitely check out that episode. It's really good. If you're like a super fan of the show, you're going to really enjoy it. But yeah, I'm digging those Kamikazes. The Nikes are dope too, but the Kamikaze 2 Pump really looks nice. It really looks like it works. Like the colorway looks sick on it too. I'm looking forward to actually doing a real review on those. Moving on, Eric G. Just wanted to say really quick, I've been watching your videos for about 2 to 3 years now, and man, thank you for your effort. I love watching, and I will continue to watch forever. Who do you think be at the same level or close to Jordan with sneakers when it is all said and done? LeBron, Kobe, or KD? Thanks, man. First of all, thank you for that comment, because those kind of comments is what makes me turn on this computer, press the record button, and actually talk to this microphone right now. It's a lot of work. Some people have no clue about the work that I put into this, and they think like it's just I just poof, it just goes on YouTube. It's a lot of work, but people like you are the reason why I still do it. So thank you. I get a lot of people weekly that always ask me, how the hell are you not getting shoes that other YouTubers are getting sent to them with all the material you put out weekly, the constant material, and I always appreciate when you guys notice my hard work that I put in. For people that always ask me how come this person, this brand, this company never sends this or that, they send to this one and that one, I really want you guys to stop asking me that, because it's really just really annoying to me. Like, I can't answer you. I don't have the answers, you know what I mean? Like Kanye West way. I don't have the answers, They're not sending it to me, but, I would say probably half the people they always send to are people that I've inspired, I'm sure of. I mean, I've been doing this for so damn long. What are you going to do, man? I mean, I could just do me, and that's all I'm going to do. That's why I was saying, like, I appreciate when people help out, because I don't get free shoes sent to me all the time from all these different companies. Once in a while, I get a bone thrown here or there, but for the most part, I don't. And for people that always ask me, how come this one doesn't show you love? How come that one? I need you guys to go and ask them these questions. Go to these companies, go to these brands, because if they hear it from a lot of people, then they're going to say, maybe we need to, show Dell some love. He's got a pretty strong following out there. I need you guys to do that. For the ones that keep asking me, because it's annoying and it sucks to hear that all the time. I know you mean well by it, but it's just I don't have the answers. I can't tell you. I'm sure that the reason why I'm not getting some of these kicks that some of these YouTubers are as gifts from companies is because it has to do with YouTubers that are involved with who's getting them, and the people that are involved with it aren't trying to show me love, whether it's they don't like me or they're just trying to keep me, away from what everyone else is doing. Who knows what the case may be. Whatever the case may be, I'm still rocking as long as you guys are tuned in. I know you guys mean well when you tell me, like, why aren't you, getting love from these guys or these guys. You got to go to these guys and these guys on the internet. Like, go on their Instagram, go on their Twitter and hound them if you want to really help me. That's how you're going to help me and say, do you realize who Dells is? Like, tell them what I mean to you guys, like, so they understand that I have a following. Just like me one day maybe getting a collabo shoe with a brand. Like, that'll never happen unless you guys, hit up these brands and say, you should do a collaboration with DJ Dells, the Sneaker Addict. I think that would be awesome. Like, if a lot of people keep telling these brands that, then they're going to think about that, They may not think about it at first, but if people keep banging them over the head, after a while, they're going to start thinking about it. Maybe, So, it's all up to you guys. I can only go so far by myself. Without you, the people, I'm nothing. Like, without you guys literally listening to this right now, this is worthless. So, without you, there's no me. And without our strong support out there on social media, I'm only going to get so far, So, for the diehards out there, the heads that are, for life with your boy Dells, they're trying to push me to that next level. Throw that support to these brands, man. Let them know how you love what I do, and it will help. And thank you for that comment again. Now, let's get to your question. I definitely think LeBron James, his shoes are the closest thing to Michael Jordan. He's got so many great shoes. I did a Jordan versus LeBron series. I started it last year, finished it this year, and I go through all of the shoes. Actually, I never did the 12s yet. I gotta do the 12s. That was good, man. That this just popped up in my head, man. I have to do the 12s. But I did almost all the shoes, we'll say. I put them on feet. I show you the Jordan one versus the LeBron one, and going all the way up, LeBron 2, Jordan 2. And I show you them literally on feet so you can judge and see which ones are hotter. Because some of LeBron's shoes are hotter than Jordan's. Some are going to say you're crazy, but hey, we got different taste buds. And I will put a playlist in the description box below so you could watch that, because I definitely recommend you should check that out. It's a lot of fun to watch. But yeah, LeBron by far, his shoe line is very comparable to the kind of hotness of what Jordan has put out with Nike, and then, Jordan brand, which is still Nike at the end of the day. throughout the years. That's my opinion, though. Now, moving on, let's get into a new question from Al and Brian, or Breen. Yo, DJ, what's your thoughts on the Air Jordan Teal 4 that's dropping Saturday? I'm still on the fence. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Now, to answer your question, I think it's an okay colorway, but I don't think it's a must-have. I'm not like, oh my god, I can't wait for Saturday. I'm not even going to get them. If there's a review up, it's because I had the opportunity to shoot someone else's pair. I'm not getting them. You know, I dropped how much money on 4s already this month? You got to think. I did the Oreo. I did the, what's the other colorway that dropped? The Columbia. Doubled up on those. Times, 4 with 190. I mean, come on. Like, how much money am I going to give Jordan Brand, man? It's crazy. Like, it's a little much. As much as I know you guys love watching me review every single Jordan that drops, I can only buy so many shoes. I have a budget. I got a lot of bills to pay. I can't just buy every release. So, unfortunately, I probably won't even review them. And that is saying something, because obviously I don't think it's a must-have, or else I would have copped the shoe because I wanted them. So, that's my opinion on it. I will have information on my blog over at thesneakeraddict.com to give you guys a head start at 9:30 a.m. for people that do want the shoe. I think it's going to look great on feet. I'm kind of just good now on the 4s. I have plenty of 4s. I don't need these. Like, I'd rather look and try to get an old pair of 4s that I missed out on, like the Fear 4s I'm looking for in a size 8.5 or a 9, or the, what's another colorway? The Green Glows. I need a new pair of those Green Glow 4s. I'd rather drop money for probably around the same price on those from a reseller versus, buying these teals. They may look incredible in person, but I don't think they're going to be that great where it's worth the price that they're asking. So that's my opinion. But once again, don't forget, if you're looking for them, thesneakeraddict.com, that's my blog to help you out. 9:30 a.m. I'll be able to give you guys a head start. And then also follow the Twitter. All that will be in the description box below. Make sure you're following my Twitter, The Sneak Addict. I always try to give you guys help with the releases, and I'm able to help out a lot of people, which is rewarding for people that love the show. It's my way to help you guys out. Moving on. Kick Wonder since 93. What's up with the podcast? Is it ever going back on iTunes? My problem is that iTunes is like charging me because of the amount of length of the podcast. I can only upload a certain amount, and it's not cheap. And I'm on a budget, like doing that is taking away like 2 pairs of kicks for the month. You know what I mean? That I would have bought for me to review here on the show. So that's why I'm just doing the podcast right here. I'm a one-man band, man. I don't have any help with, the finances of the show. So there's only so much I could do. But I will be trying to get back on iTunes really soon. It's a lot of work to put it on iTunes also, on top of this already. This is a lot of work. These podcasts are long. It's not like a quick video. It's, it's a lot of work, which I don't mind doing, but it's like almost double work getting it on iTunes after. But I am working on it. I will try to figure out a way to get back on there. And thanks for leaving that comment, because I just like to know that people really want that. If a lot of people keep hitting me up telling me they really want it on iTunes, I haven't really heard many people saying, they miss me on iTunes, so I assumed that no one really cared. But now that you left the comment, I'm going to look more into that. Sinner Souls wants to know, do you think remastered Jordans will sit on shelves? They already are. They already are. Little Chris 23, shout out to him. He always shows love on the Instagram. Keep doing your thing, homie. Much respect. But what about the Wades, though? Because I know I go hard with them, and no other brand comes close to the quality they bring. And then he goes on saying about, his opinions on the Jordan quality and the price hikes, which I agree with. The Jordan quality isn't that great, and the price hikes are really whack. But at the end of the day, they're not Jordan's Way of Wade shoes. They are not Air Jordans that are amazing silhouettes that look so dope on feet. The Way of Wade 1, the Way of Wade 2, the Way of Wade 3 all look pretty much the same to me. In my opinion, there's just little tweaks here and there in the upper, but the silhouette is very similar. If you put them up against the wall where you saw a shadow, they would be basically shaped almost the same, in my opinion. A little different, but basically the same. So to me, it's not impressive to see 3 different models come out in the past 3 years, and they all look very similar, versus a LeBron series where you look at the 1, the 2, and the 3, very different. You look at Jordan's models, the 1, 2, and the 3, very different. You look at KD's models, different. You look at Kobe's first 3 models, very different. I'm not impressed with Way of Wade as far as the silhouettes. Yes, the leather is great on the 2 pairs that I got. One was a nice suede, the Year of the Horse. Really thought that was a nice pair of shoes. The second colorway that I have that is leather is, I forgot what the nickname is, a black upper, very nice leather. You know, it was a nice pair of kicks. I also have the, I think it's Team No Sleep, the Wade 1. And it had a nice reflective upper. Kicked some serious ass as far as the reflective, comparing to, like, for instance, the 5 Lab 3, like, reflective, like, the power of the Wade was, like, no joke. It was pretty dope. But they all look the same. There was a few colorways I seen I thought of possibly getting, but I passed on them. So that's basically my opinion. I just feel like it's a cool shoe to own maybe 1 or 2 pairs of, but for me, and that's just for me. I know there's people that own like almost every colorway. They're fans of it. That's cool. For me though, I don't need that many pairs. I'm happy with what I got. I know some are gonna agree, some are gonna disagree. You know, as I was saying earlier, we all got different lanes that we like. Some are into something here, some are into something there. And Way of Wade to me is, it's cool, but it's not something where I need multiple pairs of. And, you know, I'm going to call them out too, Way of Wade. They're kind of weird too, man, as a company. You know, they've hit me up throughout the years. I remember last year they hit me up and they were saying they were going to send me a bunch of stuff that's never been released to premiere on my show that will never be released. They never sent them to me. They promised me they would. And then this year they said they were going to send me the Way of Wade 3 to feature on the show. They never sent me it. And this is them contacting me. This isn't me contacting them looking for this, that, and the third. They are telling me this. I think they have terrible communication skills, definitely. Because even when I ordered a pair of shoes off the site, like, the communication was terrible. Like, I hit them up on an email wondering if they're ever going to ship. Never heard back from them. And then, before you know it, like, a week later, I finally got my pair. So, you know, that's just my thoughts on them. Maybe they've just rubbed me the wrong way throughout the years, pause. Where I'm just like, I had enough with them. Like, but there's so much other options that I would rather wear than those shoes. But there are a few colorways that I really have digged throughout the years. I like that blue camo one. Kind of remind me of like G.I. Joe. It had hits of red. I like that one. There was like a Diablo Low that I didn't like at first, and I seen someone wear it on feet, and I was like, yo, those are sick. There was an all-star pair too. I think it was from the second model that was kind of hot. I mean, they have nice stuff. I don't want to throw them under the bus. They do have nice stuff, but just giving you my opinion on it. I think if they switched up the silhouette a lot more, I would have been more impressed with the third model. It just seemed like it's very similar. Leave your comments on that. I'm curious to hear what everyone's opinion is on that. And shout out to Chris. You got some nice kicks, man. And if you're a fan of D Wade shoes, definitely follow his Instagram. Moving on. Nike Gang Base. Talk about the market of kicks and where it's going. We all know limited kicks are worth more, but will DS Saturday joints be worth a pretty penny 10/15 years from now, how OGs are in the market today? I mean, sneakers are always going to be worth money as far as with Jordans once the pairs that are out there are worn and there is a scarce amount of dead stock pairs. For example, the Air Jordan 6 Detroits that released, I think it was 2010, somewhere around there. Those shoes went on sale because no one wanted them. That was a regular Saturday release. And now if you look at them, try to find a pair of DS and look how much you're going to have to pay for them. It is what it is. After a while, people wear the shoes and people still want a new pair of a shoe that released years ago. And you're forced to either pay the price or you're not going to get that no more because of the fact that there's limited amounts of them left that haven't been worn yet. So that's answering your question right there. We over 20 minutes in. Please, if you haven't, hit that like button right now. Let me know that you are enjoying this. Just lets me know. As long as you guys are enjoying this, I don't mind doing these podcasts. Just let your boy know. And we're going to continue on. Yaz_405 wants to know my thoughts on the $220 price tag on this year's Air Jordan Retro 11s. Yes, they are going to be retroing in December for $220. In my opinion, it's way overpriced. I just can't believe that they could charge that much money for a shoe that doesn't even have a lot of leather on the shoe. I mean, there's really not much leather. It's basically mesh. You got a little bit of leather on the back upper, and that's it. You got that synthetic patent leather that's wrapped around it. They're going to hike the price another $20. What does it come with? What are we getting, like, along with that? You know, it's just a brand seeing that their product is so hot and it's selling like crazy where they feel like they could just do whatever. Maybe if they throw in some wooden shoe horns or something like that, or there's more to it, then I can understand, but I don't get how they could charge that price. We'll see how the consumers are, how people respect their dollar. Are they going to go for it or not? Curious to see. Leave your comment in the box. Let me know if you're going to be picking them up on the Jordan 11s. Or you had enough. That price is crazy. Moving on. Mark wants to know, which 7 in my opinion is better, the Bordeaux or the Hares? I'm probably only getting one of them, so I just want to know what color you think is better. If you are only getting one of them, get the Bordeaux because they will be easier to maintain. The Hares get dirty quicker. They get dirty way quicker. So definitely do not get the Hares. If you're only getting one pair, you know, get the Bordeaux. You still got to be careful on that gray section. Raph wants to know, which Air Jordan shoe would you like to see retroed in the future? Raphael. Let's see. Oh, the Maroon 6s. Definitely. Protect Your Neck. 1993. Says he's a huge fan. Anyone that is a huge fan of me, use the hashtag Team DJ Dells when you post your photos of your sneakers, and I will make sure to do my best to try to check them out and like them. I actually go through all my hashtags, DJ Dells and Team DJ Dells. So use those hashtags and I will eventually get to your photos. If you already use those hashtags, you know I've probably liked so many of your photos. I really try to do that, do as much as I can. Rashid wants to know, are you excited about possibly getting one of the other Yeezys like the 350 Low or the Duck Boot more than the 750? Also, thank you, Dells, for always answering my Yeezy questions. No problem. I'm not excited at all. I'm dead serious. I could give two shits about those shoes, to be honest with you. Right now. Maybe I'll see more pictures of them. Maybe I'll get to see them in person. Right now, I could give two shits about those Yeezy shoes. Moving on. My name is Vincent. DJ Dells. With artists like Kanye West, 2 Chainz, Big Sean, now getting their own shoes. If a big brand like Nike, Adidas, or Reebok approached you about a collaboration, what kind of sneaker would you want to release? And what brand would you want it to release with? Also, thank you for last week's podcast. Really good stuff. Thanks, man. I appreciate you, Vin. You know, with collaborations, it's a dream of mine to do a collaboration with a brand. I would do a collaboration with any brand as long as it's a brand that I like and a brand of shoes that I wear. Like, I wouldn't want to do a collaboration on a shoe that I don't wear, that I have no passion, no love behind the actual model. Like, you'll see people like doing collaborations with shoes, and it's almost like you're questioning why they even did the collaboration, because when you see them out, they don't even wear that brand. It's almost like they sold themselves out to just get a check. Like, they're not into them, you know? I would never do a collaboration with a brand that I never wore. Like, that just wouldn't make sense, and it wouldn't be special to me, and it would just come off as fake, you know what I mean? and not a true collaboration. I think to do a true collaboration, it has to be with a brand, a model that you actually wear, that you've been seen wearing before the actual shoe released. Like, that's a true collaboration. So it would be a shoe that you've seen me wear in the past. It couldn't be like something, unless it was like a brand new shoe from a brand that I like, you know. That could be an exception. Hopefully it'll happen one day. I would love that. It'd be a dream of mine. I'm really into sneakers, man. Even I wouldn't mind even working for a sneaker brand. I've actually been looking into that a little bit. I would actually love to work for an actual sneaker brand. That's how passionate I am about shoes. And I feel like I know a lot about sneakers and what people like and what they don't like also. So I'm out there looking. Could be fun. I just want to do things that's going to be fun, you know? And that I'm going to be good at doing too. Moving on. Let's get to the next question. We've got here... I missed my place where I was. Once again, if I missed your comment, I apologize. There's a lot of comments. And also, on top of that, it may have been a comment I already answered. Well, a question, not a comment. Let's see, where am I? Okay. Cyrus141. With new signature models for players of the 90s like Pippen, Barkley, Penny coming out, who do you think has the better line overall? Also taking account of the many different kicks they also rocked before getting these signature models. I would say I would give it to... I don't know. I like the Barkley Posit, the first one that came out, because I had a lot of inspiration to a lot of the older models Barkley wore. And the Pippen that came out recently is pretty nice, too. I like them all, man. I'm not going to even go there and, like, judge which one I like better. I like them all. Anything that these three guys do in 2015 puts a smile on my face. I'm a big fan of them, and anytime I see them on TV or doing anything in this day and age is awesome, in my opinion, from a fan who grew up watching them as a kid, idolizing them as a kid, and seeing them, you know, still relevant. I think it's amazing, man. It's awesome to see people that, you know, are role models to you still rocking and still being relevant to this day. So, you know, I support anything they do as long as it's positive, of course. If they doing something crazy, I can't support that. But for the most part, man, I love those guys, man. And the shoes are hot. The Barkley 2 was okay. It wasn't that crazy about that Barkley Posit 2. But the first one was really nice. I have a bunch of pairs of those. And the Penny 5 was really sweet. The Pippen 6 that's out now is very nice. Definitely take a look at it. I would recommend checking it out. Moving on, Hunter wants to know what do I think about Kendrick Lamar's new album coming out. And what do I think about the Jordan 11s releasing. I already spoke about the Jordan 11s. Kendrick Lamar's album, I'm looking forward to. I love the last one. I was listening to that like day and night, man, in the car whenever I'd be driving. That got a lot of airplay in my ride, so looking forward to hearing his new album. E. Price the King wants to know about the Jordan. Why is it called 72 and 10? I don't see nothing indicating why. That was the record that the Bulls had. That's what that is. 72 wins, 10 losses. Talk about the cost. I already did that. And will it rise to 250 and above? Eventually it will if we keep buying them. If they keep flying off the shelves and people are camping out, you know, and doing all kinds of reckless shit to get the shoe, of course they're going to keep raising the price. If you're selling something and you're earning money and it's flying off the shelves, you're just going to keep raising the price. It's business. It's supply and demand. It's going to happen, man. Until people are like, hell no, that's way too much money. Go to hell with that damn Jordan 11. I'm not buying it. It's just going to keep going up. It'll get up to 300 eventually the way it's going. Soul Conspiracy wants to know, what is the most hyped up or anticipated shoe that you ever owned? I feel like you asked the same question last week. It may not have been you, but I think it was you. Check last week's podcast. Sneaker Fairy wants to know, females in sneaker culture. I guess what do I feel about that? I love it. I think it's dope. I mean, you know, females, dudes, kids, you know, it's kicks. At the end of the day, we all rock them. I could appreciate a female with some sneaker game. You know, that's dope. You know, anyone, as long as they love kicks and they, you know, they wear them because they actually like wearing them. They're not just buying them for dumb reasons. I'm digging it. Next question. We got Thuggist. Wants to know what's my favorite release I copped this year so far. I would say probably the Oreo 4s, the pack that released with all the Jordan athletes that signed to them. They put out a bunch of Jordan 1 PEs like Melo, Westbrook, Blake Griffin, and CP3. Definitely one of my favorite pickups of the year so far. I like that Converse Space Jam Larry Johnson shoe. I thought that was clever. I was digging that. There's a lot of shoes. Off top, I can't remember exactly which ones I really liked. I like that LeBron All-Star shoe, really hot. I'm trying to think. Man, there's a ton of sneakers. Oh, the Aunt Pearl KD7s are unbelievable. Like, so happy to own those. There's a lot of great sneakers that came out this year. I'm probably missing a few, but those are some of my favorites, definitely. Let's keep it moving. Next question we got from Zavalid. If I'm saying your name wrong, I apologize. Speak about how many fakes are being put into the sneaker world and resellers are selling the shit out of them because they look so close to the real ones. You got to be careful out there, man. They look so on point now. They're just little here's and there's just to identify that they're different. I mean, you know, before you could tell right away from the shape would be so warped and would just look like such shit. The fakes, the replicas back in the days. But now they're so good at it where you could really, like, only identify if it's little here's and there's. Before it'd be like obvious the Jumpman was the wrong color, one of the panels on the midsole would be completely off. But now, man, it is a whole nother ball game. I suggest just buying from regular retailers, licensed retailers that is, and stay away from, you know, these resellers on Instagram or these, you know, sites that have the sneakers for a little bit over retail. A lot of times they'll sell these replica shoes because they're high quality, raise the price so you think they're legit, and you know they're not. So be careful out there, man. When you can't tell anymore, or if it's really hard to tell where you literally have to really like look very carefully, it's to the point now where it's like, if you really want a legit shoe, is it even worth getting this shoe that you don't know if it's legit and having to pay over retail? It's not worth it, I don't think. I'm not with that program. Like, that's not happening anymore with me. Like, getting a shoe from anywhere but a licensed retailer, it's not happening. It's different. Years and years ago, it was different. Now, it's like, hell no. I don't do super early reviews. Once in a while, I do. Like, I did the Georgetown 11s because I had the opportunity to shoot them from Jordan Brand. These shoes are from Jordan Brand. They weren't, you know, some early release. A lot of spots get the shoes super early. And, you know, sometimes I have luck too getting them from some of these spots because I've built relationships throughout the year. So they'll hook me up with the shoe. They'll show me some love and hook me up with the shoe. So, you know, it's from just being in the game so long and going to the same places and building relationships. That's sneaker game. That's the sneaker community. When you build relationships with people in your community, in your area. It's very important to build relationships, not online, but in your actual physical community, not on the computer, on your Twitter, but in person. Like, it's very valuable, man. The computer, the internet is important too, but actual physical, you know, interaction with people that are into sneakers, retailers, the other sneakerheads around your way, that's what could really help you out, man. That's where a lot of my valuable connects are, just from people around my way. And people I've met from even traveling and keeping in touch with them. So I definitely suggest just staying away from these Instagram people that are selling the shoes. These raffles too. I think a lot of these raffles are raffling off fake shoes too. Be careful, man. Besides the raffles, half of them, not even half of them, I would say 90% are fake, if not 99%. So just focus on getting your shoes from retailers. That's it. Licensed retailers. That's my advice. Moving on, Eric Lopez 711 wants me to speak about people, you know, saying they got shoes that are very near dead stock and it's complete BS, that they end up looking like crap when he does meetups, and, you know, it's just annoying for this dude, obviously. You know, he does the meetups and these guys are lying to him, so he wanted me to speak about that. It's got to be frustrating as hell. My suggestion is the best thing to do when it comes to seeing a shoe is close-up photos of the sole from, looking straight on the bottom of the sole toward the toe, and then looking at the actual toe bird's eye view style, like on the actual top of the shoe, bird's eye view, close up on the toe, and then looking at a medial shot of the toe. Having both of those shots, the bird's eye view, the medial of the toe, and the bottom of the sole, and on top of that, the actual insole of the shoe, a close up of the actual bird's eye view of, like, from the back of the shoe looking down into the actual sole. You could tell a lot about the shoe by the wear, and also in the back heel, a back shot of the heel. These shots are very important. That's how you're going to really be able to judge a shoe, definitely. And also, a frontal shot of the shoe where you can actually see the actual front, like the sole, including the toe. That's going to help you out. If someone's not going to give you the right photos, like, then fuck them. Don't waste your time where you have to go out of your way to go meet up with someone. And always make sure you go into a safe spot, because there's some real wackos out there. They're ready to go to jail for a fucking pair of sneakers that cost a couple of $100. And I'm not laughing at the fact that, people have been, like, seriously been robbed or even hurt or even killed over the shoe. I'm laughing at the fact that this world is so sick where people are ready to just throw their life in the garbage over $500 or give or take. I mean, how much money could a shoe actually be worth? Even if it's a $2,000 shoe, a $4,000 shoe, people are literally ready to give up their freedom for 5 to 10 to 20 years just for a sneaker. I mean, it's sick. It's so sick. Like, I never thought I'd live in a world like this. Like, when I was younger, I used to always hear, like, my parents saying, "Oh my God, this world is so crazy." And I'd be like, this world ain't crazy. But now I feel like I'm that person saying, "Oh my God, this world is so crazy." Like, I hear, like, people ready to go to jail because they are willing to stab someone, shoot someone for a pair of sneakers. You're going to jeopardize your whole life. Like, even if you're young, like let's say you're like 15, 16 years old, you're a little reckless. I've been there, like, you're ready to give up all of that, like having fun with your boys, hooking up with these chicks, just having the time of your life being young. Like, you're ready to give all that up for a pair of sneakers. Like, that's mad dumb, man. Like, now, if you ever are, like, hot tempered and you're ready to hurt someone because of a pair of sneakers, like, you're ready to give up, like, some good times of your life, man. Your teenage years, your 20s, man. I lived like 5 lifetimes, man, in my teenage years alone. Like, this shit when I was a teenager, man, is epic. I could make like 3 movies, no joke, out of just my teenage years. I mean, epic. I mean, literally, life's like a movie type shit, man. Don't jeopardize your freedom by being hot-headed and ready to do something crazy. It's not worth it, man. It's crazy. So be careful out there for people that are doing these meetups, and for people that are ready to wild out over a pair of shoes. Think about giving up your freedom, man. Having fun, that's not worth it. And besides having fun, being successful, like, be successful. Screw all the fun by at the end of the day. I know I keep saying having fun, getting girls, hey, you may go the other route. It's 2015. Whatever floats your boat. I don't judge it. Whatever you like, Whatever the case may be, don't throw your life away for a pair of kicks. And just be careful out there, guys, man, and females too, kids. Just be careful out there with these meetups. I don't think the meetups is a good idea nowadays. There's too many wackos out there. But definitely, if you're gonna do that, make sure that you're getting the right photos. If they're not gonna give you the right photos, if they're not gonna take out that time to give you the right photos, then you don't want to take your time to go and meet up with them, because you already know you're dealing with a jerk or a weirdo, so stay away. Now let's keep it moving. Just Super Black Smurfs. What's the chances of the Raging Bull 5s coming out? And do you have that shoe? Yes, I have that shoe. I did a review when it first came out. I actually had 2 packs. One I beat to the ground. I wore them like crazy, and I got 1 more pack left. It's funny because that pack didn't even sell well. That thing sat on the shelves. It ended up going on to clearance at a lot of retailers. But that shoe is rumored to come back out this year, but we haven't seen any samples yet. So who knows if it's really coming out or not. Once we see samples on Instagram and on, the blogs, then we'll have a better idea. I should reshoot that shoe. I did an old video. You may want to check it out. Just search DJ Dell's Raging Bulls. You'll laugh because, man, it's like from 6 years ago, the review. It was probably like 6 years ago. You'll be able to see me 6 years ago. I was like 24, I think, like somewhere around that age. Man, it was a long time ago, man. But definitely check it out. You'll laugh, man. Keeping it moving. Let's see. Mr. Santana, L from Jersey here. I would like you to talk about your come up in the music industry. I see you always posting classic photos with artists, and I'm interested in hearing about your come up and your road to success. Thanks, and God bless. Well, basically, with the music stuff is, I was always into music since I was a kid. I was in bands because I liked rock music and I liked metal when I was young because my next door neighbor was really into that kind of music, so he put me onto it. Meanwhile, half of my friends were into that and half of my friends were into hip hop and some were into both back in the days. And I ended up, learning how to play the guitar. I was in a band, so I was really into music, playing keyboards too and stuff like that. And then at the same time, I had friends that were, DJing, rapping. So I had that like going on too at the same time. I started learning how to DJ. And what happened was, as I got a little older, I think like 13, 14, this dude owed me some money. And instead of paying me, he had these turntables. And we did that. He gave me the turntables instead when I was a young buck. And I ended up, having turntables, learning how to DJ. I started DJing and putting out little tapes here and there and just try to spread them out. I used to run around the city when I was like 16 years old. I would go like over by the Def Jam building with some tapes. I would go over to like the Bronx because I'm from Yonkers, so I'd run around Yonkers and the Bronx. And what would happen is, before you know it, I got a phone call from one of Diddy's people. And he was like, yo, I just heard your mixtape. I did this Best of Snoop mix. Best of Snoop Dogg. And it was crazy because I actually got the opportunity to meet Snoop Dogg. And I got him to record on one of these recorders a drop. So he actually did an intro to the mixtape, to the mix. And it was really hot. And Diddy's right-hand man, Sean Prez, he hit me up. And he's still to this day rocking with Diddy heavy. And we became really cool, and that was my first little break into the music industry because he really was digging the tape. And before you know it, it was crazy because a week later, this dude DJ Honda, who's huge overseas in Japan, and he was huge at the time, even in the States, in the United States, in the underground scene. He was working with a lot of underground artists and whatnot. He had a boutique in Manhattan too, selling clothes, and he loved what I was doing too, and they were supporting me. Whenever he would have big shows in New York City, I would start DJing over there at the shows like Webster Hall and all these spots. And slowly I started meeting more and more artists and doing more stuff with artists, helping them in the studios. Before I was in there helping them writing songs and doing all kinds of stuff. I've been in the studio with so many artists when they were on the come up. It's crazy. For instance, I see French Montana right now. He's on top of the world right now. I used to be in the studio with him all the time. To a lot of other artists. I mean, it's crazy. I used to run with Jermaine Dupri for a little bit. I was down with his squad for a good 2 years. I've done a lot with the music thing, and it was so weird because this sneaker thing was just something I was just goofing off, putting YouTube videos on my music channel, my original channel, DJ Dell's TV, and people ended up really enjoying the actual reviews. Even artists and DJs were hitting me up, famous ones, and they were like, yo, this is really hot. I really enjoy watching your show. This is a lot of fun to watch. And I noticed that more and more people are really enjoying these videos. And at the end of the day, when I was a DJ, it was to move the crowd and put smiles on people's faces and have fun. And, I still get that feeling by doing these videos because I'm moving you guys in a different wave. You may not be dancing or this, that, and the third, but I feel like I got you. You're listening to me right now. You're enjoying what you're hearing. I got you. You're being entertained. So in a different sense, it's still that same kind of lane. I definitely slowed down with the DJing in the cities and even traveling a little bit when I was really like focusing on rolling with some artists and pushing music. There was an artist that I was really pushing heavy with a group of others with Max B, and unfortunately he got himself in some trouble and he got locked up for 75 years, and that just took a lot out of me because he was like someone I was cool with, and he was very inspiring. Just the energy and the art of him, like his music was so amazing. And some of you guys may know who Max B is, and if you don't, you should really just search Max B and you will thank me, because he's one of the greatest artists ever, in my opinion. And I don't even know if I'll ever see him again. And that took a lot out of me as far as with music, kind of just really put me in a different lane. And at the same time as all this was going on, while he got locked up, this sneaker thing was evolving, and I started paying more attention to that because, the music thing just put a bad taste in my mouth. While that transition was going on, my sneaker stuff became more popular. So I still do stuff with music, but it's a lot of the behind the scenes stuff now where it's like studio work. Like I'll go check out this one at this studio real privately. They'll play me the music. I'll tell them what I think. And, we have our sessions that way, and I do a lot of consulting with the artists still to this day. And, that's where we're at, man, with your boy Dells right here. I still do the music thing, but it's a lot of behind the scenes consulting, and people want to hear my feedback to the actual records. Like, that's what they want. Even with Nicki Minaj, like, I was helping her at one point with her music in the beginning, I mean, she used to tweet to me all the time, I got a lot of love out there for a lot of the artists out there, but the music industry is a tough business. I don't recommend the music industry to anyone because it's really heartless, and people are just cold, man. It's a cold industry, and if you have a heart, you shouldn't be in the music industry. It's for the heartless. For my friends that are in the music industry that are listening to this, I'm just saying the truth, man. And I'm not saying don't go for your dreams, but I am warning you, it's a very heartless business, and you got to be really tough, really, really tough. So that's really just a quick way to just answer your question, L from Jersey. I mean, there's a lot that I've done. You can, search around, Google around. You can probably find a lot of music stuff. Just search, DJ Dells music, or just search around. You'll be able to find stuff if you really look. Michael Francisco wants to know, did I watch the Cavs and Spurs game last night? Yeah, it was amazing. Kyrie Irving turned up, man, and, that's really probably why they ended up winning the game. And I like how LeBron let him, really do his damn thing toward the end. And then LeBron came through heavy toward the end also. It was a great game, man. A lot of intensity. It definitely had like that feeling like it was the finals. Like, both teams had a lot to prove last night. Went overtime. Kind of wish it went overtime again. I just enjoyed watching it. It was just getting more and more intense as it was going. Kawhi Leonard versus LeBron was awesome. Kawhi Leonard was playing really good, which is nice to see because he's been playing like crap lately. Tony Parker was pretty clutch too. Duncan was Duncan. Duncan's always good, basically. I love seeing Duncan when he dunks, man. I always tweet, Air Duncan. If you follow me on Twitter, on my personal Twitter, I always tweet that whenever I see him dunk. It was a great game, man. J.R. Smith had some nice shots too. Man, it was a good game. It was a good game. I just love watching basketball, especially when it's like really good games. And that was definitely one right there. Hypebeast _123. Speak about the LeBron 12 Cowboy colorway. I love it. It's supposed to represent, I'm pretty sure, him wanting to play football when he was younger. He was actually pretty good at football from my understanding too. And then he ended up playing basketball, and you see where we are today. And that's what the whole inspiration is. What if he went for his dream of being a football player instead of a basketball player? And also, I'm pretty sure he's a big fan of the Cowboys. I think the shoe is hot. That colorway is no joke. One of the hottest colorways so far, definitely. And I think we're going to end the podcast right here because it's getting late and I got a bunch of stuff I got to do. And I still have to prepare this and post it. It's getting a little long, the podcast. I think we're at 40 plus minutes. So I'm going to end it right here. I'm going to get to more questions next week. Re-ask your questions for the people that I may have missed. I apologize, but I can only stand here and record on this mic for only so long. I gotta go. So, with that said, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Hit the like button if you did. Check out my blog, thesneakeraddict.com, for your sneaker news. Keep in mind, I will have all the information to help you guys out in the morning around 9:30 a.m. to give you a head start over at thesneakeraddict.com when it comes to releases, release info, upcoming dates, and much, much more. So make sure to go to the blog morning, noon, and night like clockwork, thesneakeraddict.com. Every morning you should be going there at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9:30 to 9:50 a.m. Right around that time. Also follow my Twitter, The Sneak Addict. Whenever I find out about a release, restock information, great deals, like anything to help you guys out, I will post it on my Twitter. I mean, I was able to get people LeBrons for $130. It's ridiculous. There was a lot of great things going on as far as restocks and sales this week. I know I was able to help out a lot of people, and I love being able to help you guys out. I really love that. You keep supporting me. If there's something I could do like that just to help you guys out and let you guys know about this or that, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Keep showing that love and support. I'll keep doing what I'm doing. As long as I know there's people on the other side of this right here, what I'm doing, enjoying it, then I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all the love out there. And make sure to hit that like button right now if you haven't yet. If you enjoyed today's show, share this Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Look in the description box below. I'll have all my social networks I suggest following. I'll have my podcast from last week that I would like you to listen to. If you didn't listen to it yet and you enjoyed this one, you're going to enjoy that one. Definitely. I also reviewed a ton of shoes. The Georgetown 11 that ain't releasing for a hot minute. I was able to get my hands on a real pair from Jordan. This is not an early release pair. This is the pair that I got from Jordan Brand. So you'll be able to get a good close-up HD look at the shoe before it releases. Check out that episode. I also just reviewed the Reebok Z Pump Fusion, which is a pretty cool shoe. You want to check that out. I also did a video unboxing these customs that are really, really nice from Chef over at Gourmet Kicks. Shout out to Mass Drop. Real dope video. You're going to love that video. It's a real cool unboxing video. Definitely check that out. And that's it for today's episode. Thanks again. And with that said, we out.